unmuted.
Video? The video? The girls?
Hello, my name is Isabella Perez, Recreation Leader for the City of Socorro. Thank you for joining today's meeting. Before the meeting begins, we would like to remind our guests to remove all hats and silence all electronic devices. No disruptive behavior or outbursts will be tolerated, and violators are subject to ejection and possible prosecution.
Hola, mi nombre es Judy Rodríguez, secretaria de Planificación de la Ciudad de Socorro. Gracias por participar en la reunión de hoy. Antes de que comience la reunión, nos gustaría recordarles a nuestros invitados favor de quitarse los sombreros y silenciar todos los dispositivos electrónicos. No se tolerará ningún comportamiento perturbador ni exabrupto y los infractores estarán sujetos a expulsión y posible procesamiento.
It is 6:05 p.m. This meeting is called to order. Item number 2, Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Item number 3, establishment of quorum.
Ruben Reyes.
Yes.
Cesar Nevares.
Here.
Alejandro Garcia.
Here.
Mayor Ivy Avalos.
Here.
Rudy Cruz.
Here.
And Ivan Colombia Lobos is absent. Mayor, we have a quorum.
Thank you. Item number 4, public comment.
We don't have any speakers for public comment, Mayor.
Moving on to presentation, item number 5, moment of silence and honorarium presentation and approval of Resolution 773 on the passing of former Historical Landmark Commission Chairperson, Kathy Apodaca.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. It is with great sadness and respect that I have to share the passing of Kathy Apodaca, my previous chair of HLC. At this time, the city would like to play a few slideshow moments of her life with us to showcase her commitment to bettering the city. The Apodaca family is here with us today to honor their mother. I would like to say how thankful I am for sharing your mom with us. She was the first person that welcomed me to the HLC group and truly loved her city. She saw me grow and attended many trainings with us. My condolences, the staff's condolences to you and your mom, because you guys know how hard she worked to see Rio Vista become an NHL. So, thank you.
Thank you.
At this time, if council or staff would like to say a few words, more than welcome to.
Would anybody like to start?
I'll begin.
Go ahead.
Good evening to the Apodaca family. Our deepest condolences. Your family is in our prayers. We appreciate the hard work and effort that your mom gave to the city of Socorro and the community. We know that you guys are many generations of Apodacas within this community, and it's good to see that someone like her is being honored here tonight, and we appreciate that, and thank you all. May her memory live on forever and ever in our hearts. Thank you.
Knowing the Apodaca family for a while, I know she was the sorry, but I'm sorry to the family because I've known him for a while, and thank you for sharing her with us.
My deepest condolences. Thank you.
My deepest condolences to the Apodaca family. You're in our prayers. Thank you.
To the Apodaca family, thank you for sharing her. I know many people here are saddened by her loss, and I'd just like to say, give you my condolences. Just thank you.
First and foremost, thank you guys for taking time out of your meeting today to honor my mom like this. She always looked forward. I used to talk to Victor, and I always used to tell her, yeah, I talked to your best buddy today. And she'd be like, who? And me not thinking about it, she had a lot of best buddies. And then I would remind her, well, Victor, of course, right? Oh my God, tell him I said hi, right? But ultimately, I thank you guys for the city council members, past and present, that you know, let her sit on the commission on the HLC. It's something that she was passionate about. She was passionate about the Mission Trail Association. She loved going and putting on tours at the different churches, teaching the kids. And, you know, it's moments like this that, I mean, we know what we had as far as my mom. We got to share that with her. And it's moments like this that her memory will live on forever with the people that knew her, the people that worked with her, and it's very somber, and I thank you from the bottom of our hearts for honoring her today. Thank you so much. Thank you for letting her be a part of the city. Thank you.
Thank you. Would anybody else like to share some words?
Mayor, for the record, Mrs. Villalobos arrived to the meeting at 6:12.
Thank you. Okay. Yes, sir?
And so we'll get up early, and as you continue on with your meeting, we'll quietly move out.
It's up to you, sir. We'd gladly have you here, but I understand completely. Thank you for coming.
We'll keep Mrs. Apodaca's photo up here, and then I'll give it to you guys once.
Okay, moving on to consent agenda.
Mayor, there's a resolution that needs to be read.
Oh, I'm sorry. Resolution 773, a resolution honoring Kathy Apodaca and honoring her service to the city by displaying her portrait in the City of Socorro Council Chambers. Now therefore, be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Socorro that the City of Socorro was notified of the passing of a beloved City of Socorro community member and previous commissioner, chair, and historic preservationist, Kathy Apodaca. The City of Socorro recognizes her service, shall display her portrait in the City of Socorro City Council Chambers to honor her memory. Thank Thank you very much for coming. Consent agenda, do we have a motion?
Motion to approve?
Second.
Ruben Reyes.
Yes.
Cesar Nevares.
Yes.
Alejandro Garcia.
Aye.
Rudy Cruz.
Aye.
And Ivan Colom Villalobos.
Yes.
Moving on to regular agenda, public hearing and ordinances. Item number 12, public hearing request for a conditional use permit to allow for the parking of a commercial vehicle inside the property of 11115 Perlet. It is 6:15 PM. Public hearing is now open. Would anybody like to speak on this item? Please pass up to the podium, please. Please. And speak on the microphone.
Just
Thank you.
to let you know that I just saw on the semi.
Sir, would you please state your name?
Excuse me?
State your name.
Oh, my name is Alexis Cardenas. I'm the owner of the semi truck, well, the crate, the one that parked there in the 11115 Perlete.
I'm sorry, would you speak a little bit louder into the microphones, just so everybody can hear you?
Can I speak Spanish? It's fine.
Yes, that's fine.
Okay. Mi nombre es Alexis Cárdenas, soy el dueño del, pues, de lo que, el comercial que quiero parquear en el 115 Perlete. Pues tuve el problema con el señor que dijo que, pues, que le molestaba la parsada, pero pues en realidad no le molesto en nada porque es una calle, es un cacho de calle que pasa, nomás que es un terreno grande que está dividido entre 3 casas y entonces tengo que pasar por el medio y pues parquearme atrás, donde vivimos. Pues le molestó eso y pues nos echó pues eso que no podíamos parquearnos y todo eso. Puso piedras, puso postes, todo, pero en realidad pues no, ni pasamos, yo soy el que lo manejo, en realidad no paso ni recio ni nada, pues le digo, como le digo, no molesto en nada en absoluto, nomás entro y la parqueo y ya cuando voy a trabajar igual salgo y a lo que tengo que hacer. No se mueve ahí adentro ni nada. Es un boom truck, es como un big truck, semi truck, pero atrás tiene una crane, se llama, es que sube cosas arriba en los techos o así. So, ahí no la manejo ahí en absoluto, no la opero ni nada, hasta que salgo y hago lo que tengo que hacer. No sé si tenían preguntas.
Esto nomás es public hearing ahorita. En la siguiente se puede hacer más las preguntas.
Okay. Entonces, no, pues sería todo lo que tenía que decir.
¿Usted, señor, gustaría hablar?
Sí, por
Okay.
favor. Soy el papá de ellos, el
¿Su
hermano
nombre, por favor?
Felipe Cárdenas Sánchez. Soy el papá del dueño, soy el hermano del dueño de la propiedad. Yo no me quería decir que el señor es un poco, no es problemático, pero tiene sus ideas particulares que se respetan. Yo, según, por ejemplo, un ejemplo de mi survey, tiene una medición o una medida de lo que dice en el plano, que yo creo que es el verídico, y según las ideas del señor es una muy diferente medida del outlet para entrar a la propiedad de atrás. Él tiene unas medidas que para mí no son las que dicen en el plano, pero yo no soy quien para demostrarle lo contrario a la persona. Entonces la idea de él que según entramos recio, pero pues es pura terracería, no puede ni siquiera andar recio la máquina ahí. Nos entramos, tenemos 0.6 acre aproximadamente de terreno. Entonces creo yo que podríamos llegar a un convenio de pueblo parquear, estacionar la troca para entrar para uso de trabajo, ¿no? Porque no usamos el terreno, pero sí lo queremos como un parqueadero de la troca, que sería lo que estamos apelando, o no sé cómo se diga. Entonces no es la primera persona que tiene comentarios no muy buenos de la persona, pero se respeta porque es una persona mayor de edad. Entonces trato de evitar todos los conflictos con él porque es una persona de respeto. Sería lo que quería decir más. Gracias.
Gracias. Anybody else that would like to speak on this item? ¿Alguien más que quiera hablar de este artículo? Any other speakers?
No speakers, Mayor.
As there are no more speakers, public hearing is now closed at 6:19 PM. Item 13, second reading and adoption of an ordinance, request for a conditional use permit to allow for the parking of a commercial vehicle inside the property at 11115 Perlet. Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Lorraine Quimito, City Planner. Item number 13 on the agenda is the request for a conditional use permit to allow for the parking of a commercial vehicle inside the property at 11115 Perlet Street. Some background regarding the permit request. The applicant is Daniel Cardenas Sanchez. The address again is 11115 Perlet Street. It is currently zoned R1 Single Family Residential. It is 0.6 acres in size. The land use is residential. Staff recommended approval of the permit request at the Planning and Zoning June 6th meeting. The commissioners voted to deny the request at that meeting. This is a conditional use permit request, which is allowed under R1 Single Family Residential. Planning had recommended approval as long as they abided by the ordinance requirements that the property on which the vehicle is parked be one half acre or greater in size, no mechanical work be performed at the property. The vehicle needed to be parked on a concrete slab, and the concrete slab would not be interfering with the ponding, any on-site ponding. Only one vehicle would be allowed, and it would not be allowed to park in the public street or right-of-way, and that at no time should the tractor trailers be allowed to be stored on the residential lot. The next slide shows the location of the property. This is just northeast of Perlet and Vineyard. It is within the Venedo Acres subdivision. The zoning is R1. As I mentioned, the properties to the north, east, and west, south are also R1, and to the west, east, you have agricultural zoning. These are pictures of the property from Perlet. These are showing the two homes facing Perlet, and in between you can see the access road that the previous commenter mentioned. It is the access to the rear property. The aerial gives you a better view of the property to the rear. Again, land use around the area, largely residential. The Franklin drain to the rear, and then agricultural land beyond that. Public notice was given to property owners within 200 feet of the property. No written responses were given either in favor or against the request, but one person did come to the meeting to speak against the request. He spoke on behalf of himself and his brother, who live in the two properties in front of the applicant's property. They did mention the coming in and out, being concerned for their safety as older residents and the safety of their children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren. This is a site plan showing where the applicant proposes to place the concrete slab. With that, I believe we can summarize again. The request is for a conditional use permit to allow for commercial truck parking to be parked inside the residential lot. With that, staff can answer any questions, and again, the applicant is here as well.
Mr. Garcia?
Are any of our laws being broken through this?
No, the ordinance is written such that commercial truck parking is allowed in the.
But it's
and
more of an
there's not.
inconvenience per se for the residents?
Yes.
Is that lane for everybody, or do they own
No,
it?
that's their own private access. The applicant's private access.
Okay.
It's their own private access.
Mr. Nevares?
And are the neighbors here?
They are not here.
Okay. And if I may ask, what were their concerns at the time?
Again, they were concerned that it was a commercial tow truck coming in and out of the property. The concern that it was a danger to just the residents, kids who might be walking in the street, walking on the sidewalk.
Is this a recent concern? Or has it been going on for years?
No, I do not, that might be a question for the applicant. They are, they recently purchased the property.
Recently?
Okay. Mr. Reyes? You're good?
Yeah, that was gonna ask what.
Ms. Villalobos?
So on that map, it shows in front, is that agricultural land?
So if you want to go back to the aerial, on Perlet, the two homes adjacent, right on Perlet are residential, single-family residential. Then it's the applicant's property. Maybe the zoomed-in one. There you go. And then that's agricultural to the rear, but they are separated by the Franklin drain.
And I get it, but if it's agriculture, you already have large trucks passing through there.
That's to the rear.
Tractor, yeah. Right. That's what I was trying to get. It's not like this one vehicle is there by itself. There's
Yeah.
other larger.
And there's no access?
There's no access to
But
that
that-
agricultural land onto Perlet.
And
There's
plenty of zone?
there's a dirt, appears to be a dirt road, and then the Franklin drain, and then the property, and they enter and exit onto Perlet.
So there's more than one vehicle there. There's currently, what looks
That's-
like there's trailers.
I do not know when that aerial is from. I believe it's 2000.
So that wouldn't be there, so
No, so that is, again.
somebody else's, since it's an older picture.
That's an older aerial. The request, I apologize. That is one of the requirements. They would only be allowed one commercial truck to be parked on the
So
lot.
when they put the concrete slab, this is when they'd be allowed to put the boom truck there?
Yes.
Okay.
And there's also setbacks and other requirements in order for them to have their commercial vehicle parked.
Correct.
And they're willing to abide by those?
I'm sorry?
assuming. They're willing to abide by those
Yes.
recommendations?
So the permit wouldn't be issued until they meet that criteria.
Okay.
Mr. Garcia?
So, does any other stipulation set by our staff for them to get approval?
No, just that they follow the ordinance requirements.
And then the ordinance is the one that we put in place, this council put in place, for the same reason,
Yes.
right? Okay. And then when they get the conditional use is till they get everything done?
That is correct.
Thank you.
Mayor?
Ms. Villalobos?
And this conditional use, this permit is yearly, where they have to come and purchase it?
The
or-
ordinance does not have a stipulation as to the length of a conditional use permit.
So it's more of a zoning change, so it goes with the property. That's why it's coming to council as an ordinance, right? It stays with, so it's not yearly, it's kind of like playing like a zoning change.
Overlay?
Right, so when you're doing a zoning change, right now they're asking for a conditional use permit to be able to use the land with the commercial vehicle.
Mr. Garcia?
Could we ask them to build, I know it's a big ask, but something where it would separate the houses from, on that road, because it does belong to them. And, you know, they get upset because they're going through, but it's their property. So is there any kind of ask we could add so they can just like separate the road from the homes, the two homes to the sides?
don't believe it's in the ordinance, so I don't think that we would be able to require it. We could require it. It's not change in zoning, it's not a part of the conditional use. We could ask the
Could we
applicant, but
ask for something where they could separate their land? Only because if you separate it, then they must use it to cross across, but if it's their lane, their own lane, then they have a right to their lane. So if they were to, you know, it's a big ask because of the reason that they're getting upset because it's going through their homes. So, but the land belongs to them. I don't know if we could ask that or if they'll be okay with it, but it would be.
the only other thing that we would need to verify is if there's any access agreements that would prohibit that. That would be the only other thing that I could think of that would prohibit us asking them to, if they would be willing to do that.
So we can ask, we can't require,
Right.
just because it's not part of the ordinance.
That's what, yeah, exactly.
Mr. Nevares?
It's just a comment. So when UPS or FedEx go and deliver, are they complaining about that?
They are.
Would you like to step forward?
Mi nombre es Felipe Cárdenas. Sí, porque de hecho mis papás reciben medicamento vía correo y a veces los dejan en la calle porque no saben que es atrás de la propiedad, porque los señores dicen que es de ellos o están parqueados o dicen que, ahí no, que no es calle. Digo, es un outlet, no es calle, pero es un outlet, un callejón, ¿verdad? Entonces él a veces he quedado mal. Va a UPS, van a entregarle medicamento, van a entregar comida y la dejan, a ellos mismos la han dejado. Ellos mismos cuando andan de buenas los han llevado a la casa de mis papás a entregarle la correspondencia, por así decirlo. ¿Por qué? Porque no hay manera de que ellos entren atrás sin que los señores, si están ahí, pueden decir algo. A veces no están, a veces están, pero depende el humor que traigan. Esa es la razón por la que estamos también un poco tratando de especificar cuál es el callejón mío, bueno, es la propiedad, y qué puedo hacer para poder dividir, no dividir, pero tener un poco de privacidad. Porque él corre una sequía, no sé cómo se dice en inglés, el agua, corre por la propiedad esa, y él sí se mete a la propiedad y va y la tapa y va la quita y va y se lava para él. Entonces, según si se supone que es respeto, tiene que ser de ambas partes. Y él me dice que no, porque eso es público, ¿ok? Y la propiedad no es pública. Entonces sí, es un problema con la UPS, el FedEx, todos los que van, a veces que dejan las cosas ahí en la casa de ellos, pensando que es la... Porque no hay una, digamos, como una calle para decir, ok, aquí es la entrada. Entonces sí es...
Disculpe, para aclarar. ¿Esta calle o esta calle de acceso para la propiedad de ustedes les pertenece a ustedes?
Pues en los planos, ahí dice que es parte del terreno.
Porque ya de ahí, por ejemplo, sus vecinos, los que tienen a los dos lados, ellos tienen acceso a la casa de ellos por la calle principal.
Por la principal, porque la calle principal es la Perlet.
Sí.
Ahí está la de ellos, y en medio de las dos está el audio para ir a la parte de atrás. Entonces es lo que siempre ha sido un poco el problema de que, y como somos prácticamente nuevos, según a lo que tengo entendido, esa propiedad era de la familia de él. Y como le dije, esto ya no me considera a mí. Yo compré la propiedad y él dice, no, es que era de mi hermano. Le digo, mire, perdón, pero eso ya a mí ya no me corresponde. O sea, yo compré esta propiedad y supuestamente en los planos está marcado, incluso está marcado, me parece 24 pies, no estoy seguro, de outlet. Y si mido lo que nos deja, son menos de 10 pies. Tiene piedras, ya puso un camino de piedra con concreto y puso árboles, plantas, y yo por no sé cómo, hasta ahorita no he hecho ninguna en contra de él porque no quiero, no sé, voy a tener que, no sé qué hacer para poder solucionar ese detalle. Y ahora con eso de la troca...
We might want to investigate that then. Pero si es acceso de ellos.
Mr. García?
Nomás le quería decir que si nunca ha pensado, si la carretera es suya, a ponerle una separación.
Una división.
Algo así para
pues sí
que...
quisiera, pero necesito saber las dimensiones exactas.
Ok.
Porque no quiero hacer...
Ok, porque eso va a aclarar mucho.
Sí.
Y para que separe lo que es suyo y lo que es de él, porque si es su carretera, pues es la suya y es su propiedad.
Sí, porque es la entrada, o sea, no tengo otra entrada.
Eso.
Y él me dice, hágala atrás. Atrás yo no puedo porque está lo del sembradío, está esa parte de la ciudad que no sé, yo no, atrás no sé que tenga acceso de nada.
Ms. Villalobos.
Así de voladita. ¿Hace poco compraron la casa?
Algunos años,
Hace
4 años.
Ok. Cuando compraron la casa, ¿la financiaron o la compraron en efectivo?
No, de contado.
Al contado. No hicieron un plano
Tengo el que me entregó el dueño anterior.
En ese plano debe de estar si es suyo o no suyo. En ese plano.
Lo muestro, aquí lo traigo. Quieren verlo, lo pueden ver.
No es necesario.
No, si gusta esperarme o otro día puedo verlo.
No,
Estoy de bienes y raíces, por eso le pregunto. En ese plano debía decir si es suyo o no es suyo. Si es suyo, usted puede hacer lo que usted quiera. Usted puede poner su barda, puede hacer. Si él empezó, realmente si él empezó, pues gracias, pero es suyo. ¿Sí me explico?
Sí.
Claro que quiere quedarse conforme con su vecino, que se puedan ¿cómo? Acordar a algo, ¿verdad? Pero últimamente, si está en el plano, es suyo.
Ok, pues sí, lo espero porque sí traigo la evidencia de que
Ok.
no sabría, usted me va a decir si es mío o no es mío.
Ok,
¿Sí?
está bien.
¿Alguna pregunta?
¿Alguna otra pregunta?
So,
Mr. Nevares?
for Ms. Camito, well, let's investigate what actually belongs to him versus what the man's saying. If it was his brother's property, that's no longer the case. So let's see what we can do to provide him the right information.
Yes, we can provide him information regarding his next steps.
His
but
access.
Largely this civil issue, but if he has his survey plan and he'd like to put a fence up, we can outline what those steps are.
So your GIS system, right, where it reflects the entrance,
That's
it's
the-
identified as it's his property.
Yes, those are central appraisal records that show
Yes.
at some point, that one larger lot, which got split into 3.
Correct. So the CAD is already showing that that is his property,
Okay.
right?
So it
It's
looks
part
like
of
the
his-
the owners are encroaching on his property? Is that?
Probably so. So if he goes out and gets a survey, more than likely, they are encroaching.
Okay.
But again, that's a civil matter.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Any last questions?
Ruben Reyes.
Yes.
Cesar Nevares.
Yes.
Alejandro Garcia.
Aye.
Rudy Cruz.
Aye.
And Iván Colón Villalobos.
Yes.
Item number 14, public hearing of an ordinance approving a master plan for East Wind Hills subdivision being tracks 11B and 11B4, Robert E. Nick survey number 302, Socorro, Texas, to allow for the development of distribution and manufacturing facilities, a fueling station, and a substation to enhance the electrical power to the surrounding area. It is 6:38 PM. Public hearing is now open.
No speakers, Mayor.
Would anybody like to speak on this item? As there are no speakers, public hearing is now closed at 6:39 PM. Item number 15, second reading and adoption of an ordinance approving a master plan for East Wind Hills subdivision being tracks 11B and 11B4, Robert E. Nick survey number 302, Socorro, Texas, to allow for the development of distribution and manufacturing facilities, a fueling station, and a substation to enhance the electrical power to the surrounding area.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Item number 15 is the East Wind Hills Master Plan application. This is for tracks 11B and 11B4, Robert E. Nick Survey, number 302. It is partially in the city of Socorro and partially in the 2-mile ETJ. The zoning at the time of the request was unclassified, but at your September 28th City Council meeting, you approved ICUMD zoning for this tract within the city of Socorro limits. The lot size is 66.44 acres, and in size, it is currently vacant. The future land use is, according to the 2014 comprehensive plan, recommends this area as medium-density residential. Again, a summary of the request is to approve the East Wind Hills Master Plan as per Section 38.7 of the City of Socorro Municipal Code. A master plan is required when a development is proposing a zoning change of property over 5 acres in size. Planning and zoning staff recommends approval of the East Wind Hills Master Plan, and the Planning and Zoning Commission voted for approval at their September 5th meeting. The property is located just northeast of the interstate, north of Darrington Road. The magenta line shows the city limits. As mentioned previously, this is the zoning map. It does not depict the zoning change that was approved at your September 28th meeting, and the change does not include that rectangle to the right. That rectangle to the right is outside of the city limits. These are photographs taken from Gateway Boulevard West, looking at the property. Aerial photograph shows again vacant land of the vacant land use. It is also surrounded by other vacant land use, the land and the interstate. This is the development plan that was submitted by the applicant and their representative, CEA, and enlarged detail of the portion that sits within the city's city limits. In summary, the request is for approval of the East Wind Hills Master Plan as per Section 38.7 of the City of Socorro Municipal Code. The master plan is required as part of the zoning, is triggered because of the zoning change, and staff can answer any questions at this time.
Mr. Cruz?
Ms. Quimito, for this future development on this plan, the fueling station, it's going to be for internal use only, I'm under the assumption, the fueling station that they're identifying here?
That was not a question that we asked, so I'm not sure if it is just a commercial fueling station or if it offers both automobile and commercial.
Okay. I guess that's one question. I'm just curious as to know if the public will have access to this fueling station. That way we can plan accordingly and have an understanding as to the exact type of development that's going to take place here. And then also, is the electrical substation enhancement just language to show like maybe a generator of some sort, of some kind? Or what exactly is a substation to enhance the electrical power of the surrounding area entail?
The substation, a new substation for the this development, which is the I don't know the size of the substation, but the whole development and adjacent properties, there are some developments in this area that
are they gonna have to, like, I know in some large developments they require, like, the electrical engineer will come in and say, hey, you know what, because of the size of the facility and the usage of electric electrical wattage, we're gonna need this type of substation. So I'm kind of, is it just like a power bank or generator of some sort that's gonna be placed?
So yes, so when the subdivision comes in, they have to follow our subdivision rules and regulations. That's determined once the preliminary plat is given, and that's where they tell you exactly how they're gonna put the electrical, how they're gonna put the water, where the lift station is gonna go, and provide all of those details.
Okay. All right.
Right,
I'm
right now, I
just-
think
But
there's.
this is a rather large development, and these are going to need a lot of it.
Yeah, it's 5 acres. It looks pretty big.
Yes.
Okay. I'm just trying
Logistic
to
centers, commercial areas.
see. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions?
I'm sorry.
Ms. Villalobos?
I'm sorry, I was reading through, what is it exactly that we're approving today? Just the
Just
site?
the master plan.
The master plan? Okay, gotcha. All righty, thank you.
No other questions?
Ruben Reyes.
Yes.
Cesar Nevares.
Yes.
Alejandro Garcia.
Aye.
Rudy Cruz.
Aye.
And Ivan Colom Villalobos.
Yes.
Moving on to Grants Department, item number 16, discussion and action to approve correction to supplemental agreement number 3 for work authorization. Number 2, for the Nuevo Hueco Tanks Road Extension Project under contract number 22-07-01 with Camacho Hernandez and Associates LLC. To revise quantities in Exhibit D, the supplemental will result in an increase of $10,039.48 from a prior maximum amount payable amount.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. Alejandra Valadez, City Development Director. We are here to request your approval on a correction to the supplemental for the Nuevo Hueco Tanks Road Extension Project that was presented to you all last council meeting. There was an error on my part, and there was also an error on the contractor's side in terms of the direct expenses. This correction addresses that error, and also we wanted to bring it back to inform the public that this will result in an increase of $10,039.48 from the previous maximum amount payable. This is for work that is being done by one of the sub-consultants, which is Gradient Systems. And it does reflect that in our backup.
Mayor?
Ms. Villalobos?
So where did we misunderstand? I'm assuming it was a misunderstanding of what the amount, the total amount would be.
It was my fault. Part of it is my fault. I apologize. In the agenda item summary sheet, we did not include the language that said that it was an increase in the maximum amount payable by $10,000. And then the backup did include the increase. And then the vendor, Camacho Hernandez Associates, also let us know that they had miscalculated the direct expenses and that it was actually going to decrease the amount to $10,000. So now what you have in your backup reflects the $10,000 additional funds on top of the original maximum amount payable for Gradient Systems. And so that's why we're coming back to make sure that we correct that record.
Oh, okay, got that. Okay, so you miscalculated, they miscalculated, or?
No, what I did is I submitted the wrong language on the agenda item summary sheet.
Okay.
And it did not, I believe the language that I put was this is a no-cost supplemental, which is incorrect.
Okay.
That was on my part.
Right.
And then on the contractor side, they had estimated an increase of $11,000 roughly. They came back and said, no, it's actually an increase of $10,000 because they deducted some direct expenses from Gradient Systems, which is what you see in Exhibit D in the backup.
Okay, my other question was, I lost my thought. Válgame. was a good question, but I just can't remember what it is. I apologize. It had to do, oh, I'm sorry. Did we have this is the only company that we were thinking of coming in and doing the project, correct?
Yes, so the prime contractor is Camacho Hernandez Associates, and they have their subcontractors, which we've approved through our contracting process. And so this supplemental allows us to increase the maximum amount payable for Gradient Systems, which is a subcontractor of Camacho Hernandez, so that when they invoice us, their invoice matches what is on the Exhibit D, which is approved by council, and so that's why we're coming back to make sure that everything matches up.
So there is no other contractor that came in lower? That
No.
we could, okay.
No, that's already been, we've gone through that
Established.
process.
Okay,
yeah.
gotcha. Alrighty, thank you.
Mr. Cruz?
So I'm under the assumption that Gradient, what's the company name?
Gradient Systems.
Gradient Systems is a specialty contractor that performs work that Camacho Hernandez doesn't perform or can't perform, because we have a master agreement with Camacho Hernandez, right?
That's right.
This allows us to create what's called a supplemental agreement and not have to go out for bid and hire other contractors. We can slide them in under the original contract, which also brings down costs at the end of the day. All we would need to do is adopt the $10,000 increase, which we did so in the previous meeting before this one tonight. There was some type of language error, but
Yes.
we accepted it and we approved it in the last city council meeting, and this is just to correct and bring about transparency for the public and this table.
That is correct,
Okay.
yes. Gradient Systems is their traffic sub-consultants, and they do an excellent job in traffic studies.
Mayor. And just for clarification, these subcontractors are submitted when they submitted their bid of the subcontractors they're going to use. You will see these changes and amendments because due to the cost but we have to be very specific because we are going after reimbursement for these funds. So these changes are extremely important for council to be aware of, so TxDOT can reimburse us.
For tracking purposes, yeah.
Yes, but you will see, because we have several projects that are coming down the pipeline, you will see, because
gonna be the
even there's change in pricing, right? Or any type of changes that you will see those changes coming back to council and making the amendments in order for us to be able to get reimbursed for those funds.
Right.
Thank you all for the clarification. That helps.
Any other questions?
Ruben Reyes.
Yes.
Cesar Nevares.
Yes.
Alejandro Garcia.
Aye.
Rudy Cruz.
Aye.
And Ivan Colom Villalobos.
Yes.
Moving on to Planning and Zoning Department, item number 17, discussion and action to approve event permit for All Saints Day Festival at Saints Peter and Paul Catholic Church at 673 Old Hueco Tanks Road on November 5th, 2023, from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Item number 17, All Saints Day Festival event permit. The applicant is Arturo Ramirez, Saints Peter and Paul Catholic Church. Their event will be held November the 5th from 7 to 10 at the church on 673 Old Waco Tanks Road. The request is to approve the event permit for the All Saints Day Festival. The next slide shows a site plan. The location of church, parking. Oops, sorry.
Is that the right permit?
I'm sorry, I did not correct the title of the page.
I was like, we're gonna have wrestling and a fight.
And gorditas, let's go.
Okay.
So that is the plan, or is it?
That's the site plan.
It is.
That is the right
Okay,
site
it
plan.
just-
That's just the
Wrong
wrong
title.
title
Just
page.
the wrong
Okay.
title.
Do you want to see it again? Yes.
Just look at Kermés, no?
Where are they running through?
No, that's not a run, that's a
No, the
festival.
run is the
It's
next
just a
application.
festival, All Saints Day
Oh,
Festival.
Is
that's
anyone
the
here
next
from the
I'm
church?
looking at something else.
Yes.
I'm ahead of
No,
them.
the church?
I'm gonna run to the
Did you have
Yes.
any
¿Quieres ir o no?
questions for the applicant?
Questions?
No?
I just
Okay.
invite us.
Ruben Reyes.
Yes.
Cesar Nevares.
Yes.
Alejandro Garcia.
Aye.
Rudy Cruz.
Aye.
And Ivan Colom Villalobos.
Yes.
Item number 18, discussion and action to approve an event permit for the Socorro High School Presents Dia de los Muertos 5K run for November 5th, 2023, from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Question, I'm sorry. Till 10 p.m.?
AM.
Oh, okay.
Should be
I was like, that's a long run.
And muertos is misspelled in the subject line. The applicant is Mike Coulter. He's working with the school to put on this event for the cross-country team. The date is November the 5th from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. The start will be Socorro High School, and the run will take them up through Alameda. Oh, sorry, Rio Vista. Oh, we can go to the next map. The course route out of the school onto Rio Vista, onto Alameda, up to Nevares, and turn around at Skylight. With that, staff can answer any questions, and the applicant is also here to answer any questions.
Okay, any questions?
Ruben Reyes.
Yes.
Cesar Nevares.
Yes.
Alejandro Garcia.
Aye.
Rudy Cruz.
Aye.
And Ivan Colom Villalobos.
Yes.
Item number 19, Recreation Centers, discussion and action to approve Resolution 774 for the amendment of the professional service agreement to Trenor HL for the rehabilitation of historic Rio Vista Community Center in the amount of $370,000.
Motion
Good
to
a-
approve.
Second.
Sorry. Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. We are happy to report that we have been working with Trenor HL on the architectural design and ADA accessibility plans for the Rio Vista site, also known as the Rio Vista campus. Steven, can you show the photo? If you notice, to the end of the property, there were 3 buildings that were owned by Texas A&M when we conducted this contract with Trenor. Since then, that land and those buildings have been gifted to the city. This contract amendment will allow us to continue the design specs to able to house and develop those 3 buildings in terms of utility and space and overall bid documents. Once they're done with their contract, we will go to bid for physical construction of the Rio Vista campus once Texas Historical Commission has given us the green light and we can go ahead and proceed with the plans. And the generous donation from, Jeff Bezos' wife, if she's watching.
Questions?
These 3 buildings on the side,
Yes, sir.
what are those going to be? Are they part of this?
So those are the ones that are part of the contract. Those were the ones that were given to us by Texas A&M. Thankfully, they're going to be used as part of our economic development motivator and catalyst. They're going to become part of the space for the business incubators for small businesses. And they're going to be part of Ms. Alejandra Valadez's offices as well.
Okay.
We are also going to hold space, though, for trainings and continue things such as our small business meetings and the coalition to make sure that our community members that are entrepreneurs continue to get training as well as access to technology and skill building.
Any other questions or comments?
Yeah, I have one.
Mr. Cruz?
So this is just for architectural design right now, the 370K?
Correct. So it's broken down into 2 tasks. If you look in the backup, it'll show you exactly part of the site utility as well as architectural and design services. And then it'll also do the bid set. Those are the documents that we'll use when we actually go to publish the RFP, RFQ.
So are they also, because I haven't, I'm going to be honest and say that I didn't go into detail as far as the backup. Are they going to help with pricing out for the formal bid?
So they are part of the negotiations team that they'll be able to meet with us and sit with us and make sure that all of our bid documents are worded correctly in order for us to go ahead and make sure that we get as many applicants as possible to make sure that pricing is at the forefront of our consciousness.
Okay, thanks.
Ruben Reyes.
Yes.
Cesar Nevares.
Yes.
Alejandro Garcia.
Aye.
Rudy Cruz.
Aye.
And Ivan Colom Villalobos.
Yes.
Thank you.
Mayor and Council, item number 20, discussion and action to approve memorandum of understanding agreement for sister city relationship between the city of Socorro, Texas, USA, and the city of Macharavilla, Malaga, Spain.
Motion to approve.
Second.
This is for both cities to enrich their culture, understanding, create adult and student exchange opportunities, and broaden cooperation to encourage goodwill between the cities. Is there any questions?
Ruben Reyes.
Yes.
Cesar Nevares.
Yes.
Alejandro Garcia.
Aye.
Rudy Cruz.
Aye.
And Ivan Colom Villalobos.
Yes.
Item number 21, discussion and action to approve resolution 775 to recognize Macharavilla on the establishment for the sister city relationship with the city of Socorro. It goes along with item number 20, which was the memorandum of understanding. This is the resolution.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Ruben Reyes.
Yes.
Cesar Nevares.
Yes.
Alejandro Garcia.
Aye.
Rudy Cruz.
Aye.
And Ivan Colom Villalobos.
Yes.
Item number 22, discussion and action to approve the appointment of Yolanda Rodriguez to the Planning and Zoning Commission, Place 5.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Ruben Reyes.
Yes.
Cesar Nevares.
Yes.
Alejandro Garcia.
Aye.
Rudy Cruz.
Aye.
And Ivan Colom Villalobos.
Yes.
Swearing in of Ms. Yolanda Rodriguez. Ms. Rodriguez, would you please step forward?
Speak into this one? Yes.
Please repeat after me. I
I,
state your name.
Yolanda Rodriguez,
Do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear and affirm
that I have not directly or indirectly
that I have not directly or indirectly
paid, offered, or promised to pay,
paid, offered, or promised to pay,
contributed, or promised to contribute
contributed, or promised to contribute
any money or thing of value,
any money or thing of value,
or promised any public or employment,
and promised any public
or employment
or employment
as reward to secure
as reward to secure
my appointment or confirmation thereof.
my appointment, confirmation thereof.
One more. I
I, Yolanda Rodriguez,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear and affirm
that I will faithfully execute
that I will faithfully execute
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
of the Planning and Zoning Commission
of the Planning and Zoning Commission
of the City of Socorro, Texas,
of the City of Socorro, Texas,
and will, to the best of my ability,
and will, to the best of my ability,
preserve, protect, and defend
preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution
the Constitution
and laws of the United States
and laws of the United States
and of this state.
and of this state.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations.
That's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
Item number 23, discussion and action to direct city manager and her designated staff to move forward with the proposal report recently conducted by the El Paso Electric Company and accept their services as recommended for the installation of the city streetlights on Walcott Road in the amount of $13,793.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Ms. Villalobos, would you like to introduce?
So I had some constituents come and talk to me about Welcott. It's an extension of Ding-Dinger. Ding-Dinger ends, it curves, and then Welcott starts, and there is no lights out there. There's maybe 6 streets, 7 streets. So that whole street is dark at night. And you have people walking to the corner store, which is right on Zaragoza, riding their bikes. It's very unsafe in dark. So we had the electric company go out there and look and propose where they would put the lights. And so therefore, I brought this item to the table.
Did you say Zaragoza?
Did I? I'm
You
sorry.
did.
I
You
did.
did.
Socorro, I'm sorry, Socorro.
I got scared.
Wow, they walk a long time. Sorry.
That's what they were put lights in our city.
I meant Socorro. All right, thank you.
Ruben Reyes,
Yes.
Cesar Nevares.
Yes.
Alejandro Garcia.
Aye.
Rudy Cruz.
Aye.
And Ivan Colom Villalobos.
Yes.
Do we have a motion to delete items 24, 25, and 26?
Motion to delete items 24, 25, and 26.
Second.
Ruben Reyes.
Yes.
Cesar Nevares.
Yes.
Alejandro Garcia.
Aye.
Rudy Cruz.
Aye.
And Ivan Colom Villalobos.
Yes.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
Ruben Reyes.
Yes.
Cesar Nevares.
Yes.
Alejandro Garcia.
Aye.
Rudy Cruz.
Aye.
And Ivan Colom Villalobos.
Yes.
Meeting adjourns at 7:06 PM.
Good night,
Have a
everyone.
good night.
Goodbye.